So I remember about 2 years ago, I was looking at myself in the mirror, and I was looking at how skinny my physique was. I was trying to find what body part in me was truly lacking that I could just improve. And as I started to try and hit some poses to see what really is sticking out and what could potentially be improved, I started to realize how my shoulders were quite bad. They were the worst body part on me. And so immediately I put my head up and I said, I will work on building bolder shoulders. And from that day, I would start to train not just really shoulders, but everything extremely intensely. And from that time, I've grown quite a lot, intensely, in fact. My physique has, I've gone from about 60 kgs to about 75 kgs. In this video, I'm giving you the only tip that you truly, really need to be able to do anything. It's finding the constraint, really, finding your problem. And the main way you do that for bodybuilding or for being able to build your dream physique is by using your eyes, because your eyes are the constraint finder for what you see in front of you, which is your physique. You know, honestly, I know how hard it is to build a top 1% physique, which is exactly why I made the Greek God protocol. This is basically a protocol that I've literally sat down and I've analyzed these Olympia champions, these guys that basically paint themselves and show up on stages and start posing around and they're full of muscle. I've analyzed how those guys train and how those guys eat, and I've created this for us so that we can use this to build our dream physiques as fast as possible. If you're interested, I'll leave my Instagram as the first link in the description. You can DM me to learn more. So let's get into this. The first one is having gym bros, because the simple truth is when you have gym bros or friends that can basically look at your physique directly and they can just look at you and immediately say, oh, you actually have some love handles and those are kind of holding you back. And so when you have someone who's who can just look at you without having such emotional detachment, it's much easier for you to actually go on about life. And this is really something that you would also do is you would open your heart up and you would just accept criticism, because your gym bro has been telling you that your biceps are small as fuck and you just weren't listening to him. You need to open up and just accept that, yeah, he's probably right. Your biceps are probably small and you could probably work on that. And as soon as you open your heart up to criticism and people will start telling you, oh, your legs are actually quite small, okay, well, my legs are small, I should probably train legs. And so really it's just as simple as knowing what your constraint is. And this is one of the ways that you would do this, is that you would ask others, you would see the opinion of others. And naturally, as you hang around gym bros, just because that's how the human works, that's how we humans, or not just humans, but really all animals do this. We just criticize each other because we want the tribe to grow better and stronger. And so we criticize each other, and we know we just have such great eyes on each other. And so when you can actually have people around you who are not emotionally detached to your physique, they will actually help you to be able to get the best tips out of it. The second one is to look at aesthetic physiques more. And one of the greatest ways of doing this is by having some kind of wall of mentors. This is something that I'm sure there are plenty of people who've done this, but basically I called this the wall of mentors, and I have this myself. It's basically a wall where you hang up posters, or you can basically have these wooden paintings painted printed on there as a picture. Basically you will put or hang up pictures of your mentors or the people that you want to be like. And so on my wall, I have plenty of different people, but one of those people is Kevin Levroni. I want to soon hang up Sam Sulek. It's because those guys are people that I want the physiques of. And so I will keep their physiques in front of my eyes 24/7. Whenever I'm hanging around this room, which is most of my time, I can just look at the wall and I can see Kevin Levroni. And you can see the definition, how his arms are in certain type of position, or this certain size, while his chest is in a different size, his abs and waist are in different size, quads different size. And it's you can just kind of see the definition and look at physiques that you want to be like, so you can basically have this image printed in your mind, so then when you look at yourself, you can criticize right. This can also be achieved by basically setting the wallpapers on your wall as your mentors. So maybe the wallpaper of your phone would be Sam Sulek, or I don't know, basically whoever you really want to place to look at the physique of and achieve that physique. And honestly, you just gotta watch more like of the guys that you actually want. You gotta look at their physiques more. And it's like, it's just that simple. Look at aesthetic physiques more. And one of the best ways of doing this is just watching Sam Sulek, honestly. Like, every single Sam Sulek episode will make you look and realize certain stuff that you didn't realize on his physique before. And he has like this posing session in his videos. So that's like also like a great audition and a bonus to you to just have a full session of just looking at his physique and seeing the definition, the size of the arms, to like the ratios and different stuff. And then the final one, probably one of the most important ones, is just to look at yourself a lot. Like, genuinely, just stand in front of the mirror and just look at yourself. Start posing around. Just look at yourself and genuinely, like, criticize yourself. And be honest. Like, hey, you look at yourself. Oh, well, my calves are probably really small. And you know it deep down. But you're like, nah, like, they're good. They're decent. And you gotta just stop with, like, the cope and just tell yourself, yeah, you're fucking small. Your calves are small as fuck. And as soon as you come to that realization, you're like, okay, well, I can develop, I can improve. And that's where improvement comes from. So you gotta like be detached away from like your physique and just kind of look at it from a non-emotional perspective and say, hey, I could probably work on my chest. My chest is quite flat. You know, it's like a lot of guys compliment me on it, but honestly, I feel like it's just not true. I feel like my physique's like actually like quite lacking, and especially my chest. And I mentioned posing briefly, but you need to actually learn how to pose. I'll probably make a video on this fairly soon, but you need to actually learn how to pose. And really, like, it's quite simple. Just watch bodybuilders. Again, watch bodybuilders, and you will know how to pose. And that's all there is to it. Just watch more bodybuilders, see how they pose, try and imitate. That's all there is to it. You'll pick it up as you go through, as you progress more. You'll be able to do these, like, advanced, like, vacuums and shit that you probably didn't like know how to do. As you pose around, I probably should know how to pose. As you pose around, you basically gotta look for what sticks out. So, what are the good muscles on you? Well, your lats are really fucking awesome, man. Like, your lats are genuinely fucking awesome. Your chest is very fucking decent. Your shoulders are very white. Sweet. Well, okay, what doesn't stick out? Well, my arms aren't sticking out very well, especially my triceps, you know, like, I don't know, they're not really sticking out. Well, maybe we could work on your triceps. And it's just looking at your body unemotionally and seeing what actually lacks. For me, at least, like, I always kind of see this in me. My arms are actually quite decent, but my chest is actually pretty flat. My shoulders are a bit flat, kind of starting to, you know, get a bit smaller. My biceps could probably be worked on a bit more. Calves, yeah, could be worked on a lot because they're pretty small. You just gotta look at your physique and say, okay, what am I lacking and what do I have that is very good? And I must add, like, as a final note to this video, you gotta actually, not because one muscle is lacking very much and the other one's not really lacking, that you would not train the muscle that's not lacking and basically train the muscle that's lacking. Like, you gotta have the same intensity, the same schedule, the same everything. It's just some information to keep in your mind so it will be a bigger motivator for you to train those muscles that you, quite frankly, they're just small on you. And so you're not even motivated to train them. Like, we can all agree that we love chest days. And it's because most of us have insanely huge chests. And chests are easy to build. And so you just lie on the bench, you'll lift the heaviest weights, everyone starts looking at you, you'll feel pretty cool. And it's like, having a chest day as opposed to like a shoulder day where you're lifting 2.5 kilograms and you're feeling like shit. Like, it's just, you don't like shoulders, but your shoulders are small, man. And it's like, you gotta just admit this to yourself and basically use this as motivation for the days that you're not really feeling like it. But this, of course, doesn't mean that, okay, I'll just start skipping chest days, since chest, like, oh, my chest is really great, so I'll skip chest days and I'll start hitting shoulders instead, which is just complete bullshit. Again, if you're interested in the Greek God protocol, DM me on my Instagram and we'll discuss things from there. But in case, that's kind of what I wanted to go through. Make sure to subscribe if you want to show me that you're part of the tribe, that you're actually in a bold your dream physique, and that you're sick of the fucking fitness influencers. And make sure to like this video if you want me to make more videos like this one. Talking about these, like, honestly, just like letters and tips that I give to young me. Because truly, like, if I knew this like 2 years earlier, I probably could have genuinely like built such a great physique much faster than what it really took me. And finally, if you commit to the work, you will be getting the results.